Hello my dear friends, welcome to Forensic by Dr. Paras, and now we are going to talk about chapter number 12, that is all about the forensic ballistics. A very important chapter to learn. So first of all, who is the father of forensic ballistics? Remember, the name is Calvin Goddard. Father of forensic ballistics is Calvin Goddard, my dear friends. Now we'll just see the firearm. In front of us there is a firearm. We'll see the different parts of firearm, how it works. So my friends, this is a shotgun. The back of the shotgun, this part, this area till this area, this is called as stock. This is called as what, sir? Stock. And area which is above, this is called as breech. And here the trigger is, breech is the main area where the spring is there, which will create pressure, which will help bullet to go forward, move forward. Bullet move forward from the barrel, and the inner diameter is a bore, Inner diameter is a bore, my dear friends. Now my dear friends, remember, barrel is a long metal tube. You can see right here, sir. Bore is the inner diameter of a barrel. The inner diameter of a barrel is called as bore. The number of bore will be decided on a metallic balls. We'll be discussing about them. Muzzles are the outer end of the barrel. The outer end of the barrel is called as muzzle. Outer end of the barrel is called as what, sir? Muzzle. This is muzzle. Outer end of the barrel is called as what, sir? Muzzle. Now important terms if we talk about, sir, important term is ballistics right here, sir. What is ballistic? Sir, the study of firearms and projectiles and their effects. What type of firearms, how much is their motion, range, etc. This is called as ballistic studies. Second is terminal ballistics or wound ballistics. Study of effects of bullets on the target. Studying about their motion is ballistics. Terminal ballistic is once they hit the target and what is the impact after that. That is terminal ballistics. Now classification, if we do, there will be two classification. Before that, just add one more point here. What is gauze? Gauze is the number of, gauze will be decided, or how much bore is there, that will be decided on number of lead balls made from 1 pound of the lead which fits in the barrel of the gun. So gauze is also sometimes decided the bore. You will see how many metallic balls can, if 12 metallic balls can come inside this diameter, we call that as gun as 12 bore. If 24 comes, we call it as 24 barrel, 24 bore gun, 12 bore gun, depending on the number of metallic ball which is made from 1 pound of the metal inside the bore, the inner diameter. Done, sir? Now the rifle versus shotgun. Rifle versus shotgun, if we see the typical shotgun, you can see right here. If I take this part of the shotgun, rifle barrel actually, first we'll take the shotgun. Shotgun, you see the inner diameter is smooth. But if you see the rifle barrel, my dear friends, the rifle barrel, you will see the inner diameter is what, sir? Curved like this. Now if I draw like this, you'll better understand. So if this is circle, you will see inside that there will be the lands like this. There will be the lands. This area is called as land. This area is called as land. This is land. And the other part is called as groove. This is called as groove. This is called as groove, my dear friends. So you will see right here, the distance between two lands is the narrowest distance, and this structures will help the bullet to go with more velocity. If more velocity will be there, the bullet will go, the range will be more. Now let me tell you about the ranges, different ranges. If we talk here, right here, sir, you will see shotgun. First of all, shotgun. Then you write revolver. Sir, then you write the pistol. Then you write the rifle. Sir, if I talk about the shotgun range is very less, 50 to 60 yards. If I talk about the revolver range is 200 yards. If I talk about the pistol range is 400 yards. If I talk about the rifle range is 1 to 3 kilometers. 1 to 3 kilometer. 1 kilometer to 3 kilometer depends on which rifle you are using. Again, shotgun range is 50 to 60, then coming to revolver 200, pistol 400, and the rifle it is 1 to 3 kilometers, my dear friends. So basic difference is clear between the rifled barrel and shotgun barrel. Now we'll see a helixiometer. The instrument to examine the inner surface of the barrel is called as helixiometer. It's called as what, sir? Helixiometer. Now we'll see the differences between the rifle and the shotgun. So first of all, a rifle is there, my dear friends. If we see the rifle, spiral grooves are present from breech till the muzzle. Spiral grooves like this, or I can draw beautifully. So these are the spiral grooves like this. Spiral grooves are present. If I tell you the shotgun is completely smooth. You can see right here, sir. This is rifle barrel. You can see spirals like this. But in the shotgun, it is completely smooth, my friends. Shotgun is completely smooth, my friends. Second, why there is the importance of these grooves? Because of these grooves, the bullet spins fast. Moment spinning is fast. It increases the range and the stability. So what is the importance of these spirals or the grooves? Because of these grooves, the bullet spins very, very fast. Bullet is spinning very, very fast. Moment it is spinning very, very fast. It increases the range and the stability. It will increase what, sir? Range and the stability. Now coming to the shotgun. Sir, if we talk about the shotgun, you will see smooth and the narrow barrel is there. One, inside it is smooth and it is narrow barrel from end to the choking, which will decrease the dispersion and increase the range. Shotgun range as compared to the rifle is not very much. Shotgun is just 50 to 60, but yes, narrow. The front we keep narrow so that less dispersion should be there and range should be more. And dispersion. What do you mean by dispersion? If I just fired from shotgun, after 2 meters, if the bullet is going like this, if shotgun cartridge is going like this, after 2 meters, it will start spreading like this. Because the pellets are there. These pellets will start spreading like this. This is called as dispersion. The first basic difference is clear. Secondly, rifle. Bullets are made from lead. The rifle bullets are made from lead. But if I compare this with the shotgun, shotguns can be made with lead pellets are used. Lead shots, small, round. Small pellet, then we fit inside the bullet. We'll be learning about that also. Other than that, range we have talked about. Again, we'll talk here. Revolver range is 200, pistol is 500, 400, military rifle is 2000 yard, 1000 to 3000 actually yards, but we take it as on an average 2000 yards. Single bore, I told you what is bore. Bore is metal balls fitting inside the inner diameter of the barrel. Single bore, it is 50 to 60 yards. If double bore is there, then 56 to 60 yards. Not of much difference, almost same would be there. Now coming to the ammunition. Ammunition, if we talk about, sir, shotgun cartridge, first we'll talk about the shotgun cartridge. Shotgun cartridge. So primer is there. We'll see, if we see the diagram right here, sir. On the base, we are having the primer. On the base, what we are having, sir? Primer. When we pull the trigger, the spring will hit here on the primer. The primer will be again producing the spark, and that spark will lead to the shot of the pellet. So I'll explain right here. So there will be a primer, we hit the primer, then there will be this outer is brass head. Outer one is what, sir? Brass head. You will see primer got hit. After the primer got hit, there will be a powder. Powder got burned. Then there is a wad. Wad is like a barrier which only opens if pressure exceeds too much. Too much pressure is there in this part. Too much pressure. Then only wad will go out. And if wad goes out from here, it will take all the pellets. These shots are there. Pellets will come outside and it will be fired like this. So what are the parts we are having right here, sir? What parts we are having, if you have to see right here, sir? First is, sir, primer. Primer got the hit. Then there is a wad. Then there is a powder in this area. You can see powder. Then after powder, there is a barrier. Wad. WAD. Wad is there. Then after wad, there are the pellets like this. They got fired and then they spread. So this is what a short arm cartilage, you can say, it look like. It acts as a piston, which push the lead shot out. Who acts as a piston? Your primer acts as a piston which pushes the lead shots out. Now, what are the constants of the primer, my dear friends? What things you are going to see in the primer? If we see what are the constants of the primer, we'll see that, remember, mnemonic is blast. What mnemonic we are having, sir? Blast mnemonic. In the primer, what is there? Blast is there. As the name itself, mnemonic itself suggesting it's blasting. So barium nitrate. The first thing which we are having, sir, that is your barium nitrate. Then L for lead peroxide. L for what? Lead peroxide. A for antimony. S for lead styphanate. And T for tetrazine. Again along with me. Blast. B for barium nitrate. L for lead peroxide. A for antimony. S for lead styphanate and T for tetrazine. These all are present inside the primer. Then coming to the wad. Wad is acting as a lubricant plus barrier. And wad holds the pressure. Wad holds the pressure, my dear friends. Now the second cartilage which we have to discuss right here is rifle gun bullet. First we'll see the anatomy. Sir, again there is a primer. What is the constant of primer? We have just saw the constant of primer is what, sir? Your blast. All the blast we have studied. So you will see right here, sir, first there will be hit on primer, then there is a powder, and once a powder is there, then there will be a bullet. This is bullet which is fired outside, which will go out, and hit the target, my dear friends, which will hit the target, my dear friends. This is released, this part is released, okay. Now you will see the parts here, sir. Rim is there, then powder part, this case where the powder is there, then and the forward part is bullet, my dear friends, which is mainly hitting the target. Now the gunpowder, if I talk about, sir, there will be a black gunpowder which produces the smoke. Black gunpowder will produce the smoke, my dear friends. So 1 gram of gunpowder can produce how much smoke? The 1 gram of gunpowder can produce 3000 to 4000 cc gas. Only 1 gram can produce this much gas, my dear friends. Now the black gunpowder, what it is made up of, that is something which is important right here. The black gunpowder is made up of CSK, Chennai Super Kings, my dear friends. C for charcoal. How much charcoal is there? 15% charcoal is there. Then sulfur. How much sulfur is there? 10% sulfur is there. Then potassium nitrate. How much potassium nitrate is there, sir? 75% potassium nitrate is there. So black gunpowder produces the extra smoke. Then 1 gram, how much it can produce? 3000 to 4000 cc gas. And what is the mnemonic to remember? CSK. What is CSK? Charcoal, sulfur, potassium nitrate. Out of which charcoal is 15%, sulfur is 10%, potassium nitrate is 75%, my dear friends. Now second type of gunpowder what we have to study is smokeless gunpowder. The second type of gunpowder what we have is smokeless gunpowder. Smokeless gunpowder produces less smoke. Smoke is there, but as compared to the previous one, the smoke is very, very less. So this is having 3 types. What 3 types we are having? One is single base, double base, triple base. In single base what we have, sir? In single base we are having nitrocellulose. Single base what we have, sir? Single base we are having nitrocellulose. Double base we are having nitrocellulose plus nitroglycerine. And triple base we are having nitrocellulose, glycerine, guanidine. Nitrocellulose, glycerine, guanidine. Cellulose, glycerine and guanidine. This is triple base. Single base, double base and triple base is clear to all of you. Now discharge coming out of gun. So what things are coming outside from gun? One is flame. Flame will come. Flame will not go till the target. It can only cover some distance. So because of flame you will see there will be burn, charring and hair burning. Skin will be burned. Your hairs will be burned. Plus because of the flame blackening will be there, that is called as charring. So first flame will be there. Let's suppose 50 to 60 centimeter. Till 50 to 60 centimeter flame can travel. Next thing coming outside is a smoke. Smoke will lead to the blackening for sure. Because of smoke there will be blackening, and smoke can also travel some distance only. Then there will be an unburned powder. When unburned powder will be there, it will go inside the skin and it will lead to the tattooing, my dear friends. It will lead to the tattooing. And where the tattoo settles after death, if we have to see the tattooing, tattoo settles in the lymph nodes, my dear friends, in the lymph nodes. Then bullet will come and bullet will produce a punctured wound. And if bullet goes inside, there will be entry wound and exit wound. Entry wound would be small, exit wound would be large. If I compare here with the stab injury, in the stab injury, entry wound was large and exit wound was small. But if I compare here with the bullet, entry wound is small, exit wound is large, my dear friends. So this is how the discharge coming outside the bullet. We have to remember 4 things. What are the 4 things? One is flame, smoke, unburned gas powder and bullet. Flame, smoke, unburned gas powder and the bullet is coming outside, my dear friends. Now we'll see the aberrant collar or the mark. What is aberrant collar or mark? This is produced by the bullet and this is also called as grease collar. Grease collar is present inside the wound and it is because of the dirt. Bullet is going inside. Bullet, once it is going inside, you will see. And abrasion collar would be outside the wound. Grease collar, there are two things you need to remember. Grease collar is seen in the inside wound and the reason is dirt. Abrasion collar is seen on the outside. This is abrasion collar. You can see abrasion collar outside this collar. This line, if I can show you right here, the line is, this is abrasion collar. And if dirt is there inside, one more collar will be there. This is called as greased collar. Greased collar. So two type of collars we have studied. One is abrasion collar, another is greased collar, my dear friends. Now let's talk about a very important topic right now, sir. The shotgun range. Shotgun range. If the shot is taken from 0 meters, shot is taken from 0 meter, this is A, that is called as contact shot. If the shot is taken from 0 meter, this is A is called as what, sir? Contact shot. This is called as contact shot. And then if it is between 0 meter to 1 meter, this is called as B and B is called as close shot. Close shot. This A is called as contact shot. Contact shot. Two shots are clear. Third is between 1 meter to 2 meters. The shot which is taken with between 1 meter to 2 meter is C and C is near shot. Then the shot which is taken between 2 meter to 4 meter. This is D. D is called as intermediate shot. Intermediate shot. And more than 4 meter is called as E and this E is called as distant shot. E is called as distant shot. So we are having A, B, C, D, E. A stands for contact shot, then coming close, near, intermediate, distant shot is there. So one thing I want to tell you right here, sir. If there is a contact shot, you will see the gun was tightly onto the skin. Tight contact between the gun and the skin was there, because of which when it was fired, the skin split due to the energy and due to the expanding gas. So what type of wound you are going to see here, sir? Stellate wound with the cruciate margins are seen. You can see the stellate wound, plus you can see the blackening. Why blackening is there? Because there is a unburned gunpowder. Unburned gunpowder, plus there was fire. Because of fire, your skin shows burning, charring, etc. Now there will be burning, blackening and tattooing, BBT. So what you are going to see? BBT, burning, blackening, charring, and inside there will be what, sir? Inside there will be a greased collar. Greased collar. So this is contact shot. Now we are coming to the another shot, which is close shot. Close shot is taken from the distance less than 1 meter. Distance less than 1 meter, you will see the puncture wound. You can see the puncture wound. Plus you will see the burning, blackening and the tattooing outside the wound. Again burning, blackening, tattooing is seen because fire is there, because unburned gunpowder was there. Unburned gunpowder was there. So you can very well see here, sir, burning, blackening, tattooing, but you will see there will be a single hole, single hole, single hole, single hole, single hole. That is why we can easily detect this is close shot. Now, sir, near shot taken from 1 meter to 2 meter. Now tattooing and blackening is seen. Now if I show you with the help of this diagram, you will see single hole will be there, but the margins are bit irregular margins are there, and this shot is taken from 1 to 2 meters. Still the dispersion has not yet started. The dispersion has not yet started till. Dispersion only starts after 2 meters purely. Purely it starts happening after 2 meters. Complete dispersion will happen after 4 meters. So you can see the tattooing and blackening is there. But burning is not there because fire cannot travel more than 1 meter. That is why tattooing and blackening, yes, you can see, but burning you cannot. And the hole is irregular in margin. Coming to the next is intermediate shot. Now intermediate shot is taken from the distance of 2 to 4 meter. The intermediate shot is taken from the distance of 2 to 4 meter. 2 to 4 meter. Now dispersion of the bullet just started. Moment the bullet is fired like this, bullet is going like this, whole bullet. But suddenly you will see the bullet start dispersing. The pellet in the bullet start dispersing. But main bullet is also there. So with the main bullet there will be a main hole. Along with the main hole you will see small rat holes. So you can see main hole, along with the main hole there will be small rat holes right here, sir. Small rat holes will indicate that dispersion has just started. Dispersion has just started. And if I see there will be burning, no. Blackening, no. Tattooing, no. Other than that, you will see the central hole with the satellite pellet hole, or we can also call this a rat hole, my dear friends, rat holes. Now coming to the last shot, that is distant shot, my dear friends. The last shot is what, sir? Distant shot, my dear friend. The shot taken from more than 4 meters. When the shot is taken from more than 4 meters, we can see right here, sir. When the shot is taken from more than 4 meter, the complete dispersion, I can show you with the example. After 2 to 4, what happened? Little dispersion happened. But after 4 meter, what has happened now? Complete dispersion. Complete dispersion. This is a scenario after 4 meters. This shot is called as distant. So lead entering into the skin as separate hole. All the leads which are entering now onto the skin as a separate holes. They are all what's a separate holes. Complete dispersion is seen. Complete dispersion, because there will not be a single hole. Single hole is absent. Single hole absent. Single hole is absent. So this is a complete summary right here. We'll revise once again with the help of this diagram right now, sir. I'll erase it and I'll rewrite, and we'll see from where the dispersion is happening and what are the features we have to take care of. So firstly, if we see right from type A is called as what, sir? Contact shot. Contact shot. Contact shot, yes, you will see blackening, burning and tattooing. Blackening, burning, tattooing, and the distance is 0 meters. Distance is 0 meter. Then coming to the B is close shot. Close shot. Close shot will be there. Yes, close shot is taken from 0 to 1 meter distance. 0 to 1 meter distance. Yes, again burning, blackening, tattooing will be seen. But stellate margin like star shaped wound is only possible with the contact. In the close, there will be a hole like this. Regular hole will be there. Then if we talk about the C part, this is between 1 meter to 2 meter. 1 meter to 2 meter, this shot is called as near shot. This shot is called as near shot. Now near shot, there will be a tattooing and there will be a blackening, but burning is absent because flame cannot travel beyond 1 meter. Not at all. Then after 2 meter to 4 meter, this D shot, this is called as intermediate. Now from the intermediate shot, dispersion started. Dispersion started. Dispersion just started. That is why here what we saw here single hole with the satellite shape hole, or you can say rat holes, small rat holes. Then we talk about the E. This E is distant shot. And this distance shot is taken from the distance more than 4 meters. More than 4 meters, my dear friends. Now you will see small holes only. Burning, blackening, tattooing absent. Burning, blackening, tattooing is absent right here, sir. Now we will moving on to the next topic, and the next topic is what, sir? Entry versus the exit wound in gunshot injury. Gunshot injury. Entry versus exit wound in the gunshot injury. If we talk about, sir, entry wound. So entry wound, if I draw again right here, sir, entry wound and the exit wound. So entry wound will have the inverted margins and exit wound will have the everted margins. So entry wound here the entry wound will be small, but exit wound would be large. Exit wound would be large. Exit wound would be large, my dear friends. Now again, in entry wound, what you can see, sir? Burning, blackening, tattooing. On the entry wound, what you can see, sir? Burning, blackening and tattooing you can see, plus abrasion color you can see. Abrasion color you can see. But exit wound, no burning, blackening, tattooing, no abrasion color is seen, my dear friends. Now coming to the difference, you can see here, bullet entrance, this is entry wound and this is bullet exit wound. Who is larger? This exit wound is largest as compared to the entrance wound, my dear friends. Exit wound is larger as compared to the entrance wound, my dear friends. And you can see the inverted margins right here, sir. Inverted inside margin, and this is everted margins. Coming out, this is everted margins. Everted margins. So entry versus exit wound in the skull. Very important to note down here. Entry and the exit wound in the skull, if you see, sir, in the entry wound there will, in the skull vault there will be inner and the outer table. So if I compare this, at the outer table of the entry wound there will be a sharp margin, but inner table there will be beveled surface. Inner table will be little bit like this, beveled. Exit wound. Exit wound on the outer table and the inner table, if I tell you, sir, outer wound, outer table there will be a beveling, and inner table there will be a sharp margin. So what is happening right here, sir? Entry wound, outer table, sharp margin. In the exit wound, your inner table is having sharp margin. If I draw like this, sir, 1, 2, 3 and 4 layers like this, sir. This is your outer table, this is inner table, this is inner table, and this is outer table. Outer table. You can see very well right here, sir. On the entry wound, on the outer table, what is happening, sir? Sharp margin. Inside inner table, there will be a beveled surface. In the inner table, here again there will be a sharp margin, and the outer table there will be a beveled edge. There will be a beveled edge, my dear friends. Now coming to the exit wound. Now we come to the exit wound, my dear friends. Exit wound, outer table will show the beveling, and entry wound, inner table will show the beveling. This is the basic difference you need to note here. Now we move on to the next topic, and next topic is all about the types of bullets we are having, my dear friends. So what are the different type of bullets we are having? First type of bullets is tandem bullet or piggy bank bullet. Sir, one bullet follows the other bullet. You can see right here, sir, first bullet following the other bullet. Moment we are pulling the trigger, after one, the other one is going. One after another is going. One pushing another one, like this it is coming. This is called as tandem bullet or piggy bank bullet, my dear friends. Second type of bullet is a tracer bullet. What do you mean by tracer bullet? Bullet glows in the air when it is fired. It is used in the military warfare. Bullet glows, my dear friends. This you can easily trace from where the bullet is coming. This is tracer bullet. Then the third type of bullet is dum-dum bullet, or this is also called as mushroom. How the mushroom looks? Mushroom looks like this. So after entering skin, bullet expands and like mushroom. Bullet expands like mushroom and it causes the maximum damage. So dum-dum bullet is a bullet which causes the maximum damage, my dear friends. This is a image based photo of dum-dum. See, it looks like mushroom. It expands once it goes inside. When it goes inside, it expands. So next bullet is frangible bullet. Next bullet is what, sir, here? Frangible bullet. On hitting the target, bullet broke down into small fragments. On hitting the target, or you can say after hitting the target, the bullet will broke down into small fragments, my dear friend. That is why it is called as frangible or fragmented bullet. Next type of bullet is ricochet or deflected bullet. Now the bullet gets deflected from the intermediate source. The bullet goes like this. You are firing here, the bullet will go there. Intermediate source can be air, can be any object, my dear friend. The bullet gets deflected from the intermediate source. Now coming to the seventh type of bullet, that is incendiary bullet. Incendiary, guys, bullet explodes once it hit the target. How the bullet explodes? On the tip of bullet. On the tip of bullet, there is something. This greenish part is called as what, sir? Is called as phosphorus. And phosphorus is also Diwali poison. Crackers, in making crackers we use this. The phosphorus burns. And because of that, there is a blast. The bullet explodes and once it hits the target. Now coming to the eighth type of bullet we are having, sir. This is called as tumbling bullet. This type of bullet is called as what's a tumbling bullet? Bullet which rotate and hit the target. Tumbling is bullet is rotating and hitting the target. Rotating and hitting the target like this. This is called as tumbling bullet. Tumbling bullet. Another type of bullet is yawning bullet. Bullet which moves in irregular fashion and then hit the target like this, yawning. Then hit the target, going like this, yawning, then hitting the target. Then another type of bullet is souvenir bullet. This bullet retained in the body, and how you come to know? Because of the fibrosis present around the bullet. The bullet settles inside the body, and after some time you will notice there is a hardening of skin, and moment you get the investigation done, you got to know on the examination that there is a fibrosis. Mostly harmless but can cause chronic lead poisoning. And chronic lead poisoning sign and symptom, if I tell you, lead poisoning sign and symptom can include the wrist drop, can involve the foot drop. Wrist drop is happening because of the involvement of the radial nerve. Foot drop is happening because of the involvement of common peroneal nerve, my dear friends. Now, there are some phenomena. Kennedy phenomena. Kennedy phenomena, the study of entry and the exit wound for the medico-legal importance. Entry, from where the entry is, we will study the tables, like we have studied the table, outer table, inner table, outer table, inner table. There will be sharp edges, beveled edges, then there will be sharp edge, then beveled edge would be there like that. Mostly used for the complicated cases where wound side is altered by the suture or any other method. When the wound side is altered, then we use this Kennedy phenomena. Kennedy is all about the entry and the exit phenomena of the wound. Other than that, there is a Billard ball effect. What is Billard ball effect? Seen in the shotgun injury. This Billard ball effect is seen in the shotgun injury. On entering the skin, lead shot collide with each other and all the lead pellet disperse inside the body. On entering the skin, what happens? Moment, this is entering the skin. After entering the skin, the lead particles, they heavily They collide with each other. On collision, there is a force which will make them spread throughout the body. This is Ballard ball effect. Ballard ball effect. Now, it resembles the distance shot because of Ballard ball effect. Ballard ball effect might be resembling the distance shot, because in distance shot there was complete dispersion happening, and here also same thing is happening because of this effect, Ballard ball effect. Now, there will be what, sir? Balling or welding effect. Balling or welding effect seen in the gunshot injury. This is seen in the gunshot injury. Few lead shot will combine together and enter the skin along the lead shot, creating a central hole with a pallet hole. Now what happened? The few lead shot will combine together. Now these are the lead shot. They combine together and they look like this. Few will combine like this. They enter as a combo. So they will create a main hole, and other who are like dancing here and there, they will come like this. So central hole with the pallet holes would be there. This is balling or welding effects. Now we'll be learning about the topic called as bullet fingerprinting. Bullet fingerprinting. In the bullet fingerprinting, what is there, sir? We can identify the gun from the marking of bullet. With the marking of bullet, we'll come to know from which firearm it is fired. So this is called as bullet fingerprinting. Plus one other thing we need to add here is gunshot residual test. Gunshot residual test. If we talk about the gunshot residual test, guys, there will be a mnemonic called as HAND. How you will come to know? HAND. What are the different tests? It is Harrison, Gilroy, Harrison, Gilroy test. Other is atomic, absorption, spectroscopy. Another one is neutron, activation, analysis. Another one is dermal, nitrate test. So this gunshot result, GSR, is only done less than 3 hours of the gunshot. If the gunshot has happened within 3 hours, then only we can perform these tests. Thank you so much.